Today's topic, it's everything Grand Slam Australia. So let's get our theories and predictions ready for AEW's next presentation from the land down under.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Welcome to and new. Oh yeah!
It's going to be the biggest battleground in the history of our sport.
As God is my witness, he is broken in half.
But I'm better than you,
And you know it. You want some? Come get some. Acknowledge me.
The irresistible force meeting the immovable object.
Welcome, wrestling fans, to the Wrestling Universe Channel's podcast, where pro wrestling fans discuss what we love, pro wrestling. So as always, if it's your first time listening in, we, the Wrestling Universe Channel, would like to thank you for taking the time to listen. And if you have returned, we want to give you a special shout out of thanks for sticking around the Wrestling Universe Channel. We invite you to follow us on YouTube and Spotify. Links below.
Get on with it. Yes, get on with it.
It's almost upon us. Saturday, February 15th, Brisbane, Australia. From the Brisbane Entertainment Centre, AEW presents Grand Slam Australia, available on TNT and streaming simultaneously on Max. As we record this episode, there is a total of 5 matches. There may be more matches that pop up from now to Grand Slam Australia, but for what we have in store, let's dive in to our theories for AEW Grand Slam Australia. Mercedes Moné has been dominant since arriving in AEW, establishing herself as the ultimate belt collector. However, Harley Cameron, the Elias of AEW's women division, has gained serious momentum, making this the biggest match of her career. So what happens when these two collide at Grand Slam? Cameron has been on fire lately, showing her charisma and in-ring improvement. Her Money Train segment was meant to be a highlight, but Moné's interruptions turned it into a heated rivalry. As TBS champion, Mercedes Moné has a reputation for shutting down challengers, but could underestimating Cameron be a mistake? Cameron's microphone attack and calling Moné a puppet hit a nerve, adding more personal stakes to this match. As much as Cameron is gaining traction, Mercedes Moné is the established star, and AEW is still in the process of cementing her as a must-see champion. Moné's experience, technical prowess, and high-profile status makes her the favorite. Cameron could put up a surprisingly strong showing, perhaps even a near fall or two, but Moné will ultimately force a submission with the Moné Maker or secure a pinfall after a major counter. Even in a loss, if Cameron pushes Moné to the limit, she'll walk away a bigger star. AEW could use this to position her in future feuds with other top names. The bigger question is, could someone attack Moné in the post-match? Maybe the story isn't done yet with Statlander, or a new AEW signee to set up Moné's next defense. If the chemistry between these two ladies is strong, AEW could revisit this feud down the line with higher stakes. While Harley Cameron is hot right now, Mercedes Moné is simply on another level. Fans either like her or dislike her. The point is, she is one of the best going right now in the AEW division. AEW Grand Slam will be Cameron's proving ground, but it won't be her crowning moment, at least not yet. Expect an entertaining match with Cameron getting a strong rub, but Moné walking out with the gold still in her possession. The AEW Continental Championship between Okada and Buddy Matthews is shaping up to be a standout contest. Both competitors bring a unique style to the ring, with Okada's legendary precision and technical prowess going up against Matthews' high-impact offense and striking ability. Buddy Matthews has aggressively pursued the title, showing a more determined and aggressive side in recent weeks. Okada, on the other hand, has brushed off Matthews' challenge, underestimating his contender. This has only fueled Matthews' fire heading into this showdown. Their heated backstage altercation on AEW Collision added intensity to this feud, setting the stage for a must-watch title match. Wrestling fans, this match right now that we, the Wrestling Universe channel, believe will be a dark horse match. A lot of people are expecting some big impact stuff happening from here. We're all looking forward to the women's world title match, but this could steal the show. As much as Buddy Matthews is a fantastic competitor, Okada is still in the early stages of his AEW Continental Championship reign. It would be surprising for AEW to take the title off of him so soon, especially considering his star power. Okada is being positioned as one of AEW's top names, and a strong title defense against Matthews will further establish him as the dominant champion. Overall, expect a hard-hitting, fast-paced encounter with Matthews, pushing Okada to his limits. Buddy Matthews might even get close to a victory, possibly hitting Murphy's Law, but Okada will kick out at least at the last second. The match will likely end with Okada delivering a Rainmaker for the win, solidifying his reign. If Matthews comes close to winning, this could set up a rematch or push him into another major storyline. If Okada retains, AEW will need a new top-tier contender to establish a great feud with Okada. We, the Wrestling Universe channel, are split on this match. While Buddy Matthews is an incredible performer and deserves a championship opportunity, this seems more like a match to elevate Okada rather than crown a new champion. We really, and I mean really, wish Buddy Matthews wins this championship, but we all expect a show-stealing performance, and Okada will likely walk away with the AEW Continental Championship still around his waist. It's the Brisbane Street Fight match between the Death Riders against Cope and Jay White. This is a tough call, but the logical outcome is Adam Copeland and Jay White winning to continue the build toward AEW Revolution. Since Moxley already rejected Copeland's title challenge, the best way to force his hand would to pin Moxley in this tag team match. AEW loves to use wins in multi-man matches to set up future single title shots. But will this street fight match create almost a possible turn? And if so, who could that be? Here's one option. Jay White turns on Copeland. White is known for playing mind games and looking out for himself. If he feels that Copeland getting a title shot threatens his own main event status, he might turn on Cope, setting up a future feud. Second option, Claudio turns on Moxley. Unlikely, but Claudio might feel overshadowed by Mox, always getting the big matches, and could betray him, leading to a Death Rider shakeup. But most likely, there will be no turn. Yet, the feud is still developing, so the big betrayals might be saved for later on. But with big events like this, could we see a return? Let me break it down for you. Moxley took out Danielson, and AEW loves to bring back wrestlers in surprise moments. If Bryan Danielson returns to help neutralize any outside interference from the other Death Rider members, if Danielson does return, it could fuel a blood and guts setup between both factions. And if we take out Bryan Danielson showing up, we could still get a blood and guts match. AEW could be setting up Bullet Club Gold and Copeland, or even FTR, to go against the Death Riders at Blood and Guts. If the match ends in a chaotic brawl with the locker room clearing out to separate them, it might be the first sign of a major faction war. But the biggest story coming out of this matchup, if Adam Copeland pins Moxley, Tony Khan could easily justify making the title match official for Revolution. If Moxley and Claudio win, AEW may pivot to another challenger, like Jay White, setting up a possible triple threat instead. And let's not forget about Double J. Overall, Copeland and Jay White, We the Wrestling Universe channel predict, will win, with Copeland pinning Moxley. There will be no major betrayals yet, but tensions will be teased between partners. Bryan Danielson could return to escalate the feud. A massive brawl post-match, potentially leading to a multi-man war at Blood and Guts, more than likely will happen. And yes, the AEW World Title match at Revolution becomes official after Copeland proves himself by beating Moxley in this tag team match. This could be a wild fight, but the aftermath is where things will get really interesting. It's Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay teaming up to go against the Don Callis family, Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher. This match has all the makings of an instant classic, with Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay joining forces for the first time since their legendary 2023 battles. Fans can expect an incredible, fast-paced, high-flying, and hard-hitting showcase. Facing off against them is the dangerous duo of Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher, both of whom have something to prove under the leadership of Don Callis. Though they've been fierce rivals, Omega and Ospreay have a mutual respect that could lead to them working surprisingly well together. Their in-ring styles complement each other, mixing Omega's explosive offense and Ospreay's high-speed innovation. Takeshita has already pinned Omega twice, AEW All In as well as AEW Wrestling Dream 2023, proving he is more than capable of taking out the best bout machine. Fletcher, once Ospreay's protege, has now fully embraced his role in the Don Callis family and will be looking to make his own statement. Don Callis always has a plan. Could outside interference or a shocking betrayal be in store? And as we know, home field advantage is happening for both Ospreay and Fletcher. Wrestling in Australia, Ospreay and Fletcher will have a strong connection to the crowd, but how will that affect their mindsets? Will Ospreay be too emotionally charged, giving his betrayal by Fletcher lead to any mistakes? But this wrestling fan feels something big is going to happen. AEW thrives on long-term booking, and this tag team match could set up for a bigger showdown between Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay. Both men have history with Don Callis, and the tensions of teaming up might lead to an eventual fallout. Will this match showcase their chemistry as partners or plant seeds for an upcoming clash? A potential miscommunication or accident betrayal could set the stage for a major match between the two at AEW Revolution. Since Ospreay signed full-time with AEW, the company will want to highlight him in a marquee match. A singles match with Omega at Revolution 2025 would solidify his status as a top-tier AEW star. But a lot of fans are looking forward to seeing Kenny Omega getting his hands on Don Callis. Fans have been waiting for Omega to finally get his hands on Callis after months of betrayals. Callis has constantly escaped major beatdowns. Could this be the night it finally happens? Could we see Don Callis interfere to cost Omega and Ospreay the match, keeping the heat on his faction? Alternatively, Omega and Ospreay winning could lead to Callis getting cornered and finally getting what he deserves, a beatdown. If Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay are planned for an AEW Revolution match, they might hold off on a full Callis beatdown to build up anticipation if one of them sides with the other. And if that happens, we at the Wrestling Universe channel think that would be Kenny Omega. Either way, there's always a possibility that Don Callis orchestrates another betrayal, setting up more chaos down the line. Ultimately, this match is set to be a show stealer, with all four competitors delivering breathtaking action. However, with Don Callis always lurking and Takeshita's past success against Omega, there's a high chance that Don Callis' family steals the win, especially if Callis finds a way to stack the odds against Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay. This is where the Wrestling Universe channel is split. If Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay do win, expect it to be after a dramatic comeback, but the larger story will likely continue with Don Callis ensuring his faction remains dominant. But ultimately, we, the Wrestling Universe channel, predict Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher winning this match via interference from Don Callis or a surprise debut or turn, or should we say betrayal. The stage is set for what could be the biggest AEW Women's World Championship match to date. With over 15 months of storytelling, heartbreak, betrayal, and redemption, Mariah May vs. Timeless Toni Storm feud has been one of AEW's most compelling narratives. Their rematch promises high drama, incredible in-ring work, and a potential shift in AEW's women division. Toni Storm's evolution into the timeless character has been a game changer, elevating her popularity and making her arguably the most over female star in AEW history. While Mariah May has had a strong run as champion, this moment feels like the perfect time for timeless Toni Storm to reclaim the title in her home country. AEW could book a dramatic, emotional victory that cements timeless Toni Storm's legacy, giving her the massive WrestleMania-style moment in front of a passionate crowd. There are strong arguments for both women to win, but the momentum seems to favor timeless Toni Storm reclaiming the AEW Women's World Championship for several key reasons. Number one, since fully embracing her timeless persona, Toni Storm has reached new heights in AEW, becoming arguably the most over female wrestler in the company. Fans want to see her triumph in her home country, making it a feel-good moment on a major stage. Number two, Mariah May has thrived as champion, providing she belongs at the top, but AEW tends to capitalize on major moments such as this. With Toni Storm's immense character growth and fan support, a title switch would be a huge payoff to this deeply emotional rivalry. Number three, this feud has been built around timeless Toni Storm's journey from mentor to betrayed idol. A victory would bring full circle redemption, cementing her as one of AEW's all-time greats. Number four, with Mercedes Moné as the TBS champion, and if timeless Toni Storm wins at AEW Grand Slam Australia, the possibility of having a dream match between these two champions could very well happen in the near future. AEW booking has often been criticized for inconsistent women's division storytelling. Putting the title on their biggest female star is the best way to maintain interest. Alright, enough with the key reasons. This is what the Wrestling Universe channel believes the match might play out to. Expect high drama, emotional storytelling, and callbacks to their previous encounters. Mariah May will fight viciously and might even try underhanded tactics to retain. Timeless Toni Storm will sell the underdog struggle, winning fans over even more. Potential interference from Luther or other allies could add a little bit more to this match. But Toni Storm winning in a climactic moment, possibly with a post-match embrace or a bitter ending depending on how AEW wants to continue the feud. Now remember, it is AEW Grand Slam Australia. This is the biggest match of the event. So you know all eyes are going to be on this match. And if everyone's watching, the question remains, could there be a surprise appearance? AEW loves surprises, and after a match of this magnitude, the company could easily have a major moment to keep the buzz going. If a post-match confrontation happens, who do you wrestling fans think could show up? We, the Wrestling Universe channel, literally brought it down to 3 possible choices. Number 1. Thunder Rosa. A returning Thunder Rosa could stake her claim to the title and set up a long-term rivalry with Timeless Toni Storm. They've had unfinished business, and AEW could finally pull the trigger on a one-on-one feud between them. Number 2. Mercedes Moné. With Moné already in AEW, she could show up to tease a future match with Timeless Toni Storm. A Mercedes Moné vs. Timeless Toni Storm feud would be money, no pun intended, and help further elevate AEW's women's division. The Wrestling Universe channel is split on our third and final option. Some of us think one is more a possibility than others, but overall, the third split option is really, and we mean really, far-fetched. Becky Lynch. Rumors suggest Becky Lynch has re-signed with WWE and will be involved in WrestleMania. But what if that's all a smokescreen? AEW has pulled off major surprises before, like Adam Copeland. And if Becky were to jump ship, this would be a massive moment, a historic moment in AEW history. If she were to appear, it could hint at AEW securing its biggest women's signing ever. However, it is a long shot unless her WWE deal has truly expired. As I said, we are split. So what about Mandy Rose has been out of wrestling since her WWE release, but she's still in great shape and has teased a return. AEW could use her as a big name heel or even align her with someone like Mariah May to continue the Storm May saga. Mandy has been financially successful outside the wrestling world and might not be in a rush to return. However, AEW money and creativity could tempt her back, and they may also think it's fine for Mandy to continue her success outside wrestling too. Mandy Rose could show up post-match to confront either Timeless Toni Storm or Mariah May, setting up a future title feud. Either way, if it's Becky or if it's Mandy, the wrestling fans win. But our final prediction. While Mariah May has been a solid champion, the timing feels perfect for Timeless Toni Storm to win back the AEW Women's World title. This match has all the makings of a legendary AEW moment, and it could be the night when Timeless Toni Storm officially takes her place among wrestling's greatest characters. What do you all think, wrestling fans? Do you agree or disagree with our picks? We want to hear from you. Leave them in the comments below. What is the one match you wrestling fans are looking forward to at AEW Grand Slam? Do you believe Timeless Toni Storm is one of wrestling's greatest characters? And what match were you hoping to see that didn't make the official card? We have our thoughts. What about you? We hope you enjoyed this Theory Grand Slam Australia episode, and we hope you enjoy watching AEW's presentation Saturday, February 15th, available on TNT and streaming simultaneously on Max. As always, we appreciate and thank you all for taking the time to be a part of our episode here on the Wrestling Universe channel. Please let us know how we did, or if you have anything you would like to contribute to this episode, we would love to hear your feedback. And you know the drill. Follow us on all of our social platforms, Instagram, YouTube, and Spotify, and we look forward to the next episode. So long, wrestling fans.